More, a hospitality data podcast. I'm Stephanie Ricca. With me, as always, Jan Freitag with CoStar Group and
Hello.
Isaac Collazo from STR. This is our first video special episode of Tell Me More. Now, we are releasing it also on our podcast channel, so listeners are hearing it as well, but I thought you guys both had a face for TV.
Oh, I thought it was a face for radio. But
Well, we know you have a face for radio, but let's just, I want to give your,
So where are we?
well, sense of place. We're at the Hunter Hotel Conference, now just called the Hunter Conference 2026 in
And what
Atlanta.
day is it?
And it is St. Patrick's Day. Jan is
I'm
wearing
holding up
of
a
the
green tie that you
I
can't
have
see
some
on
green
the-
pants.
You've got some khaki green pants. So we're giving our listeners and viewers a sense of place.
Exactly.
So it's fun here, the sun is shining, the luck of the Irish. How are we seeing that reflected in the hotel industry mid-March 2026?
Hotel industry is looking much better, as we've been writing about over the last 2 months, right? So I was trying to figure out what kind of word describes what I'm hearing in Hunter.
Okay.
It's sanguine, right? Because it's kind of pragmatic.
Wait,
It's
what did you say?
Sanguine.
Sanguine.
Yeah,
Yes.
sanguine.
I thought he said sandwich.
Could be
Sanguine.
It
Oh.
is like a sandwich. We got the demand growing. We got the ADR. It's like a sandwich again. It's working.
I like your Jeopardy word, sanguine.
So-
Tell us more.
It's, again, I'm hearing some optimism. People are really, it's almost like the industry and travelers have just said, hey, it is what it is. Let's go with it. We have something, we've got a business to run, or I've got a vacation I need to take. And I think that's what we're seeing in the data. Even today, we released February results, which we'll talk about in our next podcast, but they were really, really good.
Okay,
and what
nice
we're trying
preview.
and we're trying to figure out why. And I think it's that kind of sanguine mentality.
Sanguine. Oh,
It's very,
wow.
it's just like people are just, hey, let's go with it.
How is that any different from Alice? Dare I ask? Is it?
Yes, it's different from
Okay.
Alice because we hadn't seen the results yet
So
of
we
the
have a
last
little
2
data.
months.
We have a
Yeah.
little more data,
So
yeah.
I would say people were still optimistic. There, the optimism was around the World Cup. I remember that was a lot of the World Cup is going to do this, going to do that. It's going to be a better, even our forecast said it'd be a better second half than first half. Well, our forecast, oddly enough, is wrong in the first half because we've already seen 2 really better months than we thought. So I think that's what's
Okay.
changing. The sea is changing a little bit. So the clouds are breaking, the sun is coming out.
Ladies and
There
gentlemen,
may be a tomorrow after all.
Isaac Collazo. Jan, bring us to reality.
I want you to be right. I really want you to be right.
The data doesn't lie. The data will set you free. I keep telling you
And
that.
1 month does not a trend make.
2 months
So
and 3 months now.
I don't know that we're quite there yet.
Okay.
So these are developers in this room, and development pipeline continues to be the lowest, and according to your math, the lowest
Correct.
it's since
Probably
2011.
the lowest percentage of the pipeline under construction since 2011.
So that's not helping. Turns out there's a war in the Middle East now. That will drive oil prices up. Who knows for how long? But
Sure.
on the downside scenario, for much, much, much longer than just like a 2-week interlude, which means all over $100 a gallon, that trickles down through the economy. And if the inflation rates continues to be elevated, that takes money out of everybody's pocket, including people who want to travel. They're going to have less money to spend on their, let's just go for a quick weekend trip, let's just go on the spring break trip or so. So all of this does not make me feel super sanguine. But that said, we have as an industry been amazingly resilient, and we've weathered every storm we've been thrown into. So, okay, could you say, look, maybe the second half is going to continue to see an uptick? Yes. The other fly in the ointment to me is just, I hear this continued drumbeat of not as optimistic FIFA commentary.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
That the FIFA room blocks keep washing, not 50%, but 80% or
Yes.
90%. And suddenly hoteliers have this hole in their booking, and they just now have to scramble back to figuring that out. Now, corporate, probably booked way in advance. They probably are booking at
Right.
pretty high room rates. But international inbound,
Yeah.
with the uncertainty of what's going on in the Middle East, I think international inbound is going to be dampened. So I'm taking the down, the down on your up.
Sanguine has some melancholy.
Exactly.
Let's
right.
go with
It is
that.
Not perfectly
it's not-
optimistic.
to
It's
me-
realistic. It's resigned. I
Exactly,
think we're going
that's
to
the
get
key
some people
word, it's
writing in and
realistic.
saying, "Do we know what this word means?" Yes, we do.
It
Okay.
does. And I think, because I was also going to use the word pragmatic optimism. So it's not just unbridled, like everything's great, life's going to go back to
That's
normal.
fair.
I don't believe that. And I'm not even sure we're going to change our forecast. That's how much we don't know yet. We have to wait till March comes in. But I do know, just what we've seen the last 2 months, that our forecast from January is already out the door. And so even if the rest of the months perform as we predicted, it's still going to be higher than 0.6 just because of the first 2 months, January and February.
0.6 was our full year forecast. 40 basis points of that was the FIFA lift,
Right.
was the World Cup lift.
Right.
So without FIFA, we would be at 0.2%.
Right, but yes, but again, there's still going to be some lift with FIFA. I don't think that, or
Absolutely.
the World Cup. I don't believe there's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
But it's going to. It may again the optimism that many were suggesting about the World Cup. That I don't. We've never bought into.
Yeah, correct.
How many?
Correct.
How many
Correct.
Super
It's
Bowls?
not 48 Super Bowls.
48
right?
Super
We
Bowls,
were very
right.
clear.
Yeah, I don't see that either.
So I think for me, my working theory with the World Cup right now is that June is going to be underwhelming. And July is going to be on par or maybe even a little bit better. Once we get to the games that really matter, when the stronger
The
teams have
end,
survived.
sure.
Because the truth is, look, I love German soccer as much as the next person. But Germany is going to play Curacao.
We're the next people. We don't know. We trust you.
Curacao has 69,000 people living there. 20 play soccer. They're going to come to Houston. Germany
Couple
is coming.
coaches, couple sure.
Is going to come out of the gate roaring. They're going to be like, we're here to get the cup. The very first game, Germany was Curacao. No offense to anybody from Curacao, but Germany is going to crush them.
But
right?
won't it be great to see a
Yeah, but,
absolute
I mean,
trounce?
Is it? Like, that's not a super interesting soccer game. So I think the
Okay.
first couple of rounds of games are just not going to be super interesting, and it's going to be hard to motivate the average American, to come to see those games. I think in the later rounds in July, I think we will see a lot more activity.
And again, it really depends on the curiosity level, right? It could. Remember, in '94, soccer was even a smaller portion of
Yeah.
the American psyche, and it was one of the best World Cups ever, according to what you read, in terms of attendance. So curiosity, there are more kids playing soccer today than ever before in the
Totally
United
fair.
States. So I don't think it's going to be, again, as dire as you say.
And when their parents listen to the Tell Me More
Yeah,
podcast
exactly.
and hear Jan say that the early round games will be less attended,
They might go.
Right. The problem is that those early round games, those are $400 a ticket.
Right.
Still.
So that's just a lot of money.
Yeah, and again, we have to wait. There's
Yeah.
a lot of issues.
Okay.
But there's one more thing you've got to
All
say.
right.
Remember, June still could be a very good month because Juneteenth holiday is on a Friday.
Ah,
So we have some calendar shifts that are also helping us. So
Yes.
don't write off June yet just because of the World Cup.
Good, I'm
That's
not
what
writing it off.
It's like, I think it could still, and it really depends on what happens with oil prices, everything else. I 100%
That's the wild
agree.
card.
okay,
right now.
let's bring it back to March and here this week in Atlanta at the
Yep.
Hunter Conference. We're hearing a lot about the old K-shaped economy.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
Yesterday, Chris Nassetta was on stage talking about how he sees that bifurcation coming together. Several speakers have said that. Right now, Jan, when you were giving your impressions of the first couple days of the conference, you're still seeing that those K's reinforce.
I want him to be right, to be clear, right? And I think the working theory prior to February 28 was inflation is going to come down,
Yes.
tax refunds are going to help the average American family. But now,
Correct.
with oil prices being
Right.
so high, right? I think the tourism economists
That reinforces the K.
Tourism economics forecast was proposing that the amount of money being put into the economy from the tax refunds was being taken out
Taken
by
right
the
out.
higher oil prices.
Right.
And so families on a budget are still going to be on a budget. So I hope he's right. I think I'm not quite buying it today.
And I agree. I think it is a game changer because of the war in Iran, because of its impact on fuel prices. And that will also, depending how long it lasts, not only fuel, gasoline, but it will start impacting everything else. Food costs, because transportation to get the food will go up.
Airline,
you name it, airline.
flight costs,
it
yes.
has a lot
sure,
of impacts. Even any plastics, right? Everything we use and things will be impacted. So yes, that could be a
So
very
still an uncertainty.
still very much so.
Now, one of the hallmarks of this event are the two panels, Wall Street Talks and Main
Yeah.
Street Talks, right? Where
Yep.
we have Wall Street level investors. We've got Blackstone up there. The other big guys talking about their sentiments
Right.
around transactions and capital opening up. Then we have the Main Street panel, seated with the owners who are actually
Right.
doing deals, talking about the street corner business. This year, there was a lot of difference in optimism between those two groups, right? The Main Street guys are they're feeling good.
I loved the idea of patient capital. I had
Yes.
I was
never
just
heard
gonna
that,
say that.
and I love that idea because they're patient capital, and they also
The Main Street
right.
investors
And then
talked
you and I
about
are Main Street people. Just FYI, I don't know if you caught that on the panel. The Wall Street people had hair. The Main Street people did not. So we are Main Street people. I just realized. I was like, oh my God, we're Main Street. We're the people. But I thought the other part that I really liked about the Main Street is because it is other people's monies, but it's their friends and family.
Yes.
They are in it for the long run, and they're also much more. I lost the word. Not,
entrepreneurial was the
entrepreneur,
word
but,
that
discipline.
Yes.
Because they know if I screw your money, that's your life savings, and you're my cousin or my
Sure.
friend. Yeah, I'm hurting you, and I have a relationship with you. Well, the Wall Street people is like, it doesn't,
Right.
we're just going to pay whatever it costs.
Scott Trabilko at Blackstone always talks about, we are investing where the best place is for our money right
Right.
now, which for them, the last 12 months have been data centers.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, but I thought the whole idea of patient capital, I really, really like that term.
And the inverse of that comment was Neil Shah saying, look, I can't underwrite anything with a
Oh, it was
5-year
Mit Shah, yeah.
Mit Shah, hey, I can't underwrite anything with a 5-year hold. And I was standing in the back and leaning over to my friend saying, why didn't you just take a longer
Take a longer
take a longer
hold.
hold
Well, then you're
period,
not a Wall
which is
Street investor.
exactly what the Main
Big
Street
Street
guys
people
are
said,
saying.
it's like,
Exactly.
they go, we're buying in for the long term.
Mm-hmm.
So I, thought it
I
was a
always
great
think
panel.
that's really always really good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Final takeaway from both of you: feel good or how do you feel? Thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down.
This is a hard one. Wow, that's a hard question. I feel okay.
Okay.
I think there's still a lot. I don't disagree with anything we've said earlier about there's a lot of issues and ills still in our economy and now war, and we don't know where all this is going. So I feel okay, but I understand, things can turn really fast, and hopefully that the conflict will be ended sooner than not, because I think that's
In the rearview
that's
mirror.
the
Yes.
bigger issue right now than anything else.
That's
on my
the
mind.
uncertainty, right?
That's,
Other-
it's just uncertainty on multiple levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't feel good yet.
Okay.
So I want to feel good.
That's good.
I want to
That's
trust the data.
descriptive.
Right.
I want to say, okay, February's really good. March,
it was.
you
We
know.
can say that for certainty.
Yes. And I just want more of that
Right.
good data to make me feel good. I think
Okay.
we're still talking a lot about middle of the P&L,
Yes.
cost creep on insurance, on
Yes.
taxes, on labor, blah, blah, blah. So all of this has to be made up by increases on the top line. So I still want to see more of that before I feel really
You
good.
need more of the same
Yeah.
to give you that good feeling.
And I know this is a special episode, but
Are
I
you
did.
going to give a metaphor?
I did.
Do it.
It's a song by Cold War kids called "Push My Luck," and some of the words is
Okay.
I've got a feeling, kind of, and I'm dreaming. So I'm still dreaming about
I
our industry
like
coming
it.
back. So
Should we go with that
I
as
mean,
our metaphor, or do you want
yeah.
one too, Jan?
Well, for lunch just now,
Okay.
they had a salad bowl you had to shake yourself. So that to me is the industry right now. We're all just shaking.
Seeing what rises to the top and what sinks to the bottom.
Right? Exactly.
Green shoots,
I didn't-
And
dare I
chicken?
say.
I'm just upset I didn't shake my salad. That's what the top was
That
for.
was the top was
I
for.
thought it was for takeout.
It said shake your own salad on the side.
Listeners, viewers, thank you for bearing with us. We will be back in a few days with our regularly planned March episode of Tell Me More, where we'll share all of the February data with you. But thank you for joining me for this special episode.
Thank you.
I'm Terence Baker, News Editor, Europe, Middle East and Africa, and I'm the host of The Upgrade, a CoStar News Hotels podcast for the EMEA region. In it, I discuss with special guests the pressures, challenges, joys and exhilaration that comes with managing, owning and developing hotels in our glorious multifaceted industry. Discovering the EMEA region from the scenic northern shores of Norway to heights of Table Mountain in South Africa, and most likely some chat about birdwatching, distance running and the English Premiership. Join us wherever you find your podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify and on other platforms.
This episode of Tell Me More was recorded live on March 17th, 2026 at the Hunter Conference in Atlanta, Georgia by Meredith Sheridan. The podcast was edited by Sean McCracken. Visit costar.com/hotel news for more coverage and find all of our podcasts on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen.